Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope all of you doing well at home ya. Okay, today we learn the new topic still in unit 9, but we go through the 9.2 and 9.3. Okay, but don't forget to prepare your book in page 148. Are you ready? Okay, today we talk about planets and other objects in our solar system, and satellites and space technology. In this unit, I want you to understand the reason for space technology. Okay, the first topic or the first unit, I want you to learn this: planets and other objects in our solar system. Planets and their orbits. Planets and their orbits. The Sun is at the center of our solar system. Now look at the Sun. 8 planets move around the Sun. You see the 8 planets. Smaller dwarf planets, such as Pluto, also move around the Sun. The circular, almost round journey of each planet around the Sun is its orbit. So the line for each planet called orbit. Next, more about our solar system. At the center of our solar system is a star, the Sun. Now we have the star called Sun. And then 8 planets orbit the Sun. The solar system formed about 4.6 billion years ago. It means that it developed from gas and dust left behind after the Sun was formed. Near the Sun, where the Sun's gravity was strongest, heavier materials clumped together to form the rocky inner planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Further out, the Sun's gravity was weaker. Lighter materials from the outer planets called the gas giants in planet Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Venus is the second brightest object in the night sky after the Moon. Venus has description like this: it is bright white. Sometimes you can see Venus in the east just before sunrise. At other times you can see it in the west just after sunset. Next, you don't need a telescope to see Venus, Mars, or Jupiter. However, you cannot always see them in the sky. The rocky inner planets. You can open in your book, page 150. The rocky inner planets are the 4 planets closest to the Sun. Look at the picture of these planets below. We have Earth, Mars, Venus, and Mercury. Okay, now you can look this table. You can read individually in 150 in your book, yeah. You can see the table. Okay, I will next, yeah. Our planet's Earth. We live in the Earth, or the people call the blue Earth, the blue planet. Okay, the Earth is the 3rd planet from the Sun. It is the 5th largest planet in our solar system. It is the only planet known to have life on it. The Earth is about 4.6 billion years ago. About 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water. This is why the Earth looks blue from outer space. You can also see green on the Earth from outer space. This is because the many plants and trees on Earth. You can see the color green or blue. Because we live near the water, yeah. And then the green from plants and trees. Living things need the air that surrounds the Earth to live. Okay, next. In earlier years, you learned the Earth moves in fixed orbit or path around the Sun. One orbit around the Sun takes the Earth about 1 year or 365 quarter days. While it is orbiting the Sun, the Earth also rotates or spins on its own axis, called axis. One rotation of the Earth takes 1 day. It means that 24 hours. The part of the Earth that faces the Sun as it rotates is in daylight. It is night in the part of the Earth that faces away from the Sun. Now, if the daylight is face the Sun, but in night face away the Sun. Now this is the same with this, yeah? Okay, next. Question. I have the question. Which picture do you think show the surface of the Earth and why? Now, I have 3 pictures. Which pictures show the surface of the Earth? A, B, or C? What does the surface of the Earth have that makes it different to other planets? Now, so, which one? A, B, or C? Okay, good. Answers, yeah. Number 1, B. Because the Earth's surface looks green because of the plants and trees. Now, we have plants and trees. And then, what does the surface of the Earth have that makes it different to other planets? Yeah, the blue parts of the Earth are water. Now look at this. Green plants and tree, and maybe the blue one is sky or water. The brown part is the land. Brown part is the land. Other planets do not have water or plants and tree. Like this. This is the moon, yeah? And then the desert. The surface are made of rocks or gases. Rocks and gases. So, the surface of the Earth is B. Good job. You can answer in your book, yeah? Okay, next. Mars. We talk about Mars. You can open your book page 153. This picture shows what the surface of Mars would look like to an astronaut who landed on it. Mars is the 4th planet from the Sun. Now, Mars, the 4th planet. It is very cold there because it is further away from the heat of the Sun than the Earth. Mars is like a desert with the red dust and many rocks, volcanoes, and craters. It does not support life. The force of gravity on Mars is not strong as it is on Earth. Objects on Mars therefore always weigh less than on Earth. A year on Earth is 65 days, but 187 days on Mars. So, 1 year in Mars is always twice as long as it is on Earth. Mars does not have an atmosphere that can trap sunlight and warm the planet. Like this, yeah? Sunlight goes back into space as it hits Mars. This is another reason why it is very cold there. Because in Mars does not have enough sun, yeah? Dust storms are common on Mars. They form small tornadoes. Okay, next. The gas giants. The outer planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These planets are made up mainly of gases. They are all much larger than the Earth. That is why scientists call this planet the gas giant. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. This is the gas giant. Okay, Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. It is the fifth planet from the Sun. Jupiter is a long way from the Earth, but because it's so big, you can see it from the Earth without a telescope. 1 year on Jupiter is equal to 12 years on Earth. But Jupiter rotates faster than the Earth. 1 day on Earth is 24 hours. But it is only 10 hours on Jupiter. Jupiter is covered with thick brown, yellow, red, and white clouds. Like this. The planet Jupiter with the Sun in the background. Because Jupiter spins so fast, it makes the cloud move faster, always changing how Jupiter looks. The gases around Jupiter are mostly helium and hydrogen. Now, have two gases in there, helium and hydrogen. These are the same gases that are on the Sun. Jupiter has 3 rings around it that are difficult too. Next, Saturn. You can open your book page 156. Next, Saturn. Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system. While Jupiter has 3 rings around it, Saturn has thousands of rings. Saturn's rings are made of rocks and chunks of ice. Like Jupiter, Saturn is a giant planet made of gas. It is also mostly made of hydrogen and helium, the same with Jupiter. People say Saturn is the most beautiful planet in the solar system. Sorry, the beautiful planet, yeah? But no one can live there. Nah, people say Saturn is beautiful planet, so in there have the beautiful planet, but no one can live there. Saturn is light for its size. A day on Earth is 10 hours on Saturn, but 1 year on Earth is 29 years on Saturn. It's so long. Next, like Jupiter, Saturn spins very fast. This causes constant storms that are like typhoons. Now like this, Saturn rings, and then dust storm on Saturn, like typhoons. Next, the Sun. The Sun is a star in the Earth, which is a huge ball of super hot gas. Like this. So the color is red or maybe the orange, yeah? The pressure and heat at the Sun's centers are so high that they start a process called nuclear fusion. This process releases or lets out huge amounts of light and heat. The features of the Sun's surface are always changing. Sunspots, cooler or darkness areas, and active regions, hotter and light areas are always moving. Now, why the Sun is important? Like this, the importance of the Sun. The Sun is very important. Without it, there will be no life on Earth. There will be no life, yeah? We cannot live without Sun. Okay, plants use the Sun to make their own energy, like the process of photosynthesis. Animals and people depend on plants to survive. We also use the Sun to dry our clothes, to make some types of food, for solar energy. The Sun also gives us light so we can see, if we have to not laugh. if we have to not have the lamp maybe or the candle, you use the sun. And then the sun heats the seas, the land, and affects the weather patterns. The sun gravitational pulse keeps the planet in our solar system in orbit, which make life on Earth possible. Now, like this, asteroid and comet. Now, you can look in your book, page 159, asteroid and comets. This is asteroid and this is comet. The position of the asteroid belt, the asteroid, and then view of Halley comet from space. This is comet. There are many objects that form parts of our solar system and universe, like this example, like asteroid and comet. Asteroids are pieces of rocks and ice. There are millions of them. Most of them are in the asteroid belt, which is between Mars and Jupiter. So asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Some asteroids have orbits that come very close to the Earth's orbit. They have orbits so near the Earth. And then comets. Comets are big lumps of ice that travel to the ends of the solar system. When comets get close to the sun heat causes ice as the comet to turn into gas. This makes the comet glow. Okay, and solar winds. Solar winds blow the glowing gas away from the sun, which then makes the comet's tail. The comet's tail, just because the solar winds. Okay, next. We talk about meteorites, meteors, and meteorites. Now, what makes they different? Now, I have the question. Look at this picture. You can open your book, page 160. Now, in 160, I have the question. Look at this picture. How are meteorites, meteors, and meteorites different? What makes their difference? How do you think? And that's the second. How do you think meteors, meteorites are similar? What makes they different and what makes they similar? Okay, like this, yeah, you can see in this picture or description in this picture. Meteor. Meteor, location on Earth, atmosphere. Meteor in Earth atmosphere. But meteorite in space. Yeah, and then meteorite, location, the ground, are on the ground. And then, what makes they are similar? Yes, they are all lumps of rock. They are all lumps of rock. Good job. Next, now in unit 9.3, you can open your book, page 161. Satellites and space technology. Satellites, yeah, and space technology. The crew in here use the telescope to see out of space. Benefits of space technology 1. When Galileo Galilei, an Italian scientist, made his own telescope, he was one of the first people to learn about the object in space. He was the first to see some of Jupiter's moons. He also saw that our moon was full of craters. Today, we have much more powerful telescope. The Hubble Space Telescope was launched into space in 1992. The astronaut travel into space in spaceship to discover new things. So the astronaut use spaceships to discover new things in outer of space. Powerful rockets launch the spaceships into outer space. These spaceships have special smaller ships that bring the astronauts back to the Earth. Astronauts wear special spacesuits. Unmanned spacecraft are sent into space to explore parts of our solar system that are too far for humans to reach. And satellites. Satellites that orbit the Earth are linked to the satellite system on Earth. They make it possible to communicate with astronauts in spaceship. They also control unmanned spacecraft. They receive data and photographs that scientists on Earth can study further. Okay, and then the second one, benefit of space technology too. Communication satellites orbit the Earth. They connect one point on Earth to another. Satellites in space send radio, mobile phone, television, and internet signal all over the world. Weather satellites take readings of weather conditions in the atmosphere, then send them back to weather station on Earth. Like in Indonesia, like BMKG. And then meteorologists. Meteorologists use this weather data to predict the weather. Meteorologists, is this the name of the learn about the matter in outer space. And GPS, we call GPS Global Positioning System. Make it possible for people to know exactly where they are on Earth. Like computer programs such as Google Earth and Google Maps also use GPS technology to produce maps about different parts of the world. Okay, thank you all. Okay, this is the last session, or this is the last unit from science book for grade 6. Okay, you can learn unit 6, you can learn in unit 9, and then next week you have the quiz, the last quiz in this semester. Okay, good luck, yeah, and then see you on the next week. Bye bye.